The Green Bay Packers will take the field against the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend without the NFL's reigning MVP and discount double-check hero, Aaron Rodgers. That, by itself, isn't so out of the ordinary. Since the summer, more than 100 players representing 30 of the NFL's 32 teams have appeared on the league's COVID list. By rule, vaccinated players have an easier time rejoining their teams. So it came as a shock yesterday when the NFL Network reported Aaron Rodgers is unvaccinated. That was a surprise given what he told reporters in late August. Listen to his exact wording right here.
Are you vaccinated, and what's your stance on vaccinations?
Yeah, I've been immunized. You know, there's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys.
Joining us now is Michael Smith, co-host of Peacock's Brother from Another and MSNBC medical contributor, Dr. Kavita Patel. She is back with us, former Obama White House health policy director as well. So I'm going to start with Michael. It's great to be on this side of the panel with you this time. I want to play some audio from you. Just a couple of months ago, you were really one of the only journalists, one of the only sports journalists who caught that Aaron Rodgers was lying from the beginning. So I want to play this audio and get your thoughts on the other side.
Very calculated, very smart, very well-read, very intentional with his diction, okay? When asked about his vaccination status, Aaron Rodgers says, I'm immunized. He didn't say I'm vaccinated. He said I'm immunized. Because as I understand it, he is not vaccinated.
And now, Michael, there's no vaccine mandate in the NFL, but the rules are that you have to behave differently. You have a different set of protocols that you have to go through if you are not vaccinated. Just on some bare facts right now, do we believe that Aaron Rodgers, as an unvaccinated player, was actually following the protocols, or was he lying about his status and then also trying to live, fancy-free?
And that is the main question here, because this isn't just an Aaron Rodgers story. This is the Green Bay Packers and, by extension, an NFL story. So, as you and I both know, that a lie depends on what your truth is. And when Aaron Rodgers spoke to the media and the public, in Aaron Rodgers' mind, his smartest person in the room mind, he's like, yeah, I'm immunized, because he had undergone some homeopathic treatment that he and his counsel and his team had determined was good enough. But the NFL declined his exemption request. So he was considered unvaccinated and therefore was subject to stricter protocols. The issue is not whether he was telling a lie to the media on the 26th so much as him living a lie after that. Because even just on Halloween, he's out at a Halloween party dressed as John Wick. That's a no-no. You're supposed to have a limited number of contacts as an unvaccinated player. The Packers say they follow the protocols, but the league would know, and if he did violate, would have fined him for such things as not wearing a mask indoors. We saw he never wore a mask at his press conferences. So living that untruth, living that falsehood, or living his semantic approach to this situation by saying I'm immunized but not vaccinated, exposed media members and who knows who else to potential exposure to COVID, because he was acting as though he was vaccinated. So that is the question. What did the Packers knew? The NFL knew. What did they do about him flouting the protocols for unvaccinated players?
So here's the other thing. I want to follow up because this is key, right? Despite all the linguistic gymnastics from Aaron Rodgers, part of this is because he is one of the golden boys in the NFL, like Tom Brady, like Patrick Mahomes, et cetera, et cetera. We've seen some other sports. Jonathan Isaac, the Orlando Magic, got all sorts of heck for not wanting to get vaccinated. Evander Kane, playing for the San Jose Sharks, he got suspended 21 games for using a fake vaccination card. What is the likelihood that the NFL, which is not known for holding players accountable, certainly not white famous players accountable, what is the likelihood that Aaron Rodgers or the Packers could face consequences, suspensions, or lost draft picks if it's found out that not only we know he was lying, but that the team was covering up for it?
I think the Packers are more likely to face an issue because, again, Rodgers misled the public, or he took the out. The question of, are you vaccinated? He did those verbal gymnastics you talked about. The question in hindsight probably should have been, Are you in compliance with the league's rules about vaccinations, which state Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, or you're not vaccinated? He might have had a different answer then. Who knows? But he took the out, right? He misled the public, but the Packers knew his vaccination status. The NFL knew his vaccination status. He may have been fined for violating protocols for all we know. They may have just kept it under wraps. If the Packers allowed him to get away with certain things, they could be in trouble. But Rodgers hasn't done anything wrong outside of the court of public opinion. He hasn't broken any NFL rules because, like you mentioned, no mandate, and also they knew that he was unvaccinated per their situation.
I can imagine a lot of gamblers and fantasy football people are very still angry, though. Dr. Gupta, I got to ask you this quickly. What is, because I think this is something that even sort of casual fans would need to understand. What are the consequences of an unvaccinated player as central as an NFL quarterback to the rest of the team? They touch the ball, they're in the locker room, they're yelling at everybody sort of in the huddle. Why is it perhaps more dangerous for someone like Aaron Rodgers to not be vaccinated and a potential spreader than, say, a wide receiver or somebody in basketball where you're not necessarily in as much contact?
Yeah, this is literally the definition of close contact and a super spreader event. And we actually have CDC cases and we have international cases, soccer, basketball. We actually do have examples in football. It's what led the NBA to have that incredibly elaborate set of protocols because of studies that were done, baseball, across the sports, that one person could actually create a super spreader event, not just infecting players, Jason, but I think families too. I am confident that Aaron Rodgers on his team has people with unvaccinated children and people who are high risk for chronic conditions. For all I know, they're in his own family. So the deceit is just amazing. And the court of public opinion is the one where obviously this will play out. I looked up his endorsements because I didn't know them off the top of my head, but he's got some pretty hefty corporate endorsements. They hold him accountable the way they probably would anyone else for something nowhere near as deadly as what he's doing.
Michael Smith and Dr. Kavita Patel, thank you so much for joining us.